being a medium as well, is that a conflict of interest? Like, that's it.
I mean, I see dead people.
Yes, exactly, all the time.
Michelle, the Witch of Moon's Lane, and Moyra Major. How to witch, bitch.
Hello and welcome to How to Witch Bitch. Michelle, the Witch of Moon's Lane. Hello.
Hey, darling.
How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to our second episode of the year.
I can't believe that.
I know. So no doubt last week we're all incredibly thin from our weight loss spells. That
I actually haven't eaten. Have you?
I don't need to anymore. I'm just so beautiful. No. Hello to some of our new witchy friends as well. Over the BS.
Yep.
Ivy, Windstorm, One Medusa, Carlos Goodwin on the social channels. A reminder today as well, before we start getting into everything else, we are going to be having a chat to Courtney, the Mortician, today on the show.
Yep.
Who's also a medium.
Perfect.
A lot of similarities between the two of you, I think. Now, we mentioned last week we're kicking off the year with a competition. So it's a full reading with our very own Witch of Moon's Lane. So you get to come on the podcast, sit down with Michelle, have a full reading. You've heard her in action, so you already know that she is amazing. So we're going to choose a winner very, very soon. But we'd love to get your help getting the podcast out there in return.
Yeah,
that's
start
pretty much
sharing
what we know.
Share it, follow it, comment.
So you make sure you subscribe to How to Witch Bitch on your favourite podcast app. Obviously, you already are. Comment on the pinned post on either Instagram or TikTok accounts to tell us the most important question that you would like answered in your reading. And then share that post with your friends.
Oh, yes.
That's how you get in the draw. That's how you get coming onto the podcast, sitting down with Michelle, doing a full reading as well. So it's pretty simple. Good luck. So in today's episode, we're finally joined by Courtney, the Mortician, and who she's also a medium as well. We have so many questions.
All the questions. I love questions.
All right, first up, how do you become a Mortician?
Well, me personally, accidentally, but for a lot of people, getting into the funeral industry is quite difficult. You essentially just have to apply. To be an embalmer or to work directly in the mortuary, you do need to find a certified embalmer, which is really hard in Queensland. There's not too many around.
Wow. So what drew you to being a mortician?
Accidentally.
I was working in aged care during COVID. Got a little burnt out and applied for the first job I could, which was in a funeral home, and ta-da, here I am.
What kind of training do you need to be a mortician?
Not a lot. Not a lot. It's really,
You're really selling it, mate.
Honest,
You're
isn't
selling
she?
it.
It's a strange one. Like, the job requirements essentially are just about being a good communicator.
Yep.
And being able to understand that how you would want someone else to be treated is how you should treat them. Everything else is a learnt skill.
That's right, because it's kind of director as well, because you're a director as well. You're the sort of go-between between the one that's passed and also the poor loved ones that are grieving. Yeah.
That's right. So I'm pretty lucky. I can work in all the areas of the funeral industry, which not a lot of people can.
All right. So being a medium as well, is that a conflict of interest? Like, that's it.
I mean, I see dead people.
Yes, exactly. All the time.
All the time. It's really quite fun. Like, when I'm arranging their funerals, they'll kind of pop in and be like, I don't really like those flowers, and you've got to gently suggest, oh, was that really Mum or Dad's favourite flower? How about something different?
Wow.
Yeah, or, like I've had in the past doing arrangements, and, the wife's passed away and the husband doesn't really know any of the answers, and she's kind of sitting there whispering to him what he should be saying, which has been quite interesting as well.
Does he pick it up or do you pick it up?
Yeah, she picks it up.
I mean, they eventually pick it up, but you sit there going, come on.
Yeah.
But yes.
And so with everybody else that's just like not really paying attention to what's going on, and it's just like a job, did they even see things like, I guess things have to be moved and go missing and all sorts of things like that for them maybe to cotton on that maybe there is spirit action?
Do you mean like the people that are grieving or people in my office?
In your office?
In your office, or people that are grieving, like, have they got stories to tell about how they've tried to at least contact them, even if they're not a medium like us, how that they've sort of realised that their loved one's been trying to get in touch with them, or some crazy stories that they've had?
I mean, The grief process is strange. It locks out a lot of naturally intuitive readings for people, you know. But a lot of people believe in the signs. So, you know, I saw butterflies today, or I saw numbers, or I had a dream, all those usual sorts of things. My office is, you know, I'm the office hippie, I'm the office medium, so I've always got crystals and things like that. And I'll sage the office, and the boss will walk behind me with a Theraball, you know, doing that route. So it's not as unique as people think, but in terms of when things happen, I'm usually the first to say, it's probably not just a gust of wind.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, like during transfers, when we transfer deceased people into our care, I'll have a feeling to play a certain type of music, and at this point my co-workers just allow me to play the music, and by the time we get there, the family goes, oh, that's their favourite song, or that's their favourite kind of thing. So yeah.
Have you ever seen...
Get a bit of a cheat code.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think you're like the perfect person for this role, because you can get you know, most of the time, if you're grieving or if you're a family member, you know, you may be completely clueless as to what flower you want. This is a great way to get the message across.
And plus, you were a nurse before too. See, that was my first profession as well, nursing.
Yeah.
And yeah, my matron didn't like me at all, because I would be doing exactly what you're saying, and they would be saying she's passed, and I'm saying, but she's talking to me, you know, and I wouldn't, you know, they were frightened or whatever it was, and I wouldn't let them take the body until, oh God, my matron did not like me. I caused a lot of problems.
I used to get from the matrons, like, you've got 2 ears for listening, 1 mouth for talking.
Yeah.
Wow.
But, you know, there were lots of occasions, even in nursing, where you can tell that they've gone, or that they're still hanging around, they're waiting for someone, or, you know, whatever that might have been. And it's the same when we go to a home to visit a deceased person to transfer them into care. You just know if they're still there. And, you know, and the family gets a sense of they're still there, they want to wait a bit longer, or they wait until we arrive so that they feel safe and they can transfer and move on.
Wow. Has there been anything that has scared you?
Not particularly. We have a fun little ghost, I'd call him, in the office, that he likes to turn the lights on during the middle of the night. So when we come back with loved ones, he'll turn on the outside lights for us, which gets a little bit creepy at, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning. But he comes, you know, sometimes the mortuary looks a little creepy at night time.
But why has he not moved on? Why is he still with you in your office?
I think he's just part of the furniture at this point. He doesn't really want to come. The door's literally always open for him.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And I think some people that enjoy doing, you know, enjoy that they're not ready yet. Maybe they're waiting for their loved one to cross over, so they stay on this side until they go over to the next, you know, that type of thing. So they kind of linger.
We do have another one in the office, so there's 2. There's one that hangs out the back, and then one that hangs out the front. He likes to turn on the doorbell and tell us when people are coming. And you'll be having your lunch break and the doorbell will go off, and you have to go out and check it just in case. But he'll often tell us when he's upset about something in the office being moved or changed.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what's some of the stories that you've heard from grieving ones that, you know, they've either seen them and like an apparition of them, or things are being moved, or, you know?
Yeah. I mean, most recently, last week we had a young person pass away, and in front reception he pressed our doorbell and then put his order of service up on the bench. You know, and we told the family about it, and they said, isn't that weird, because he's been sending us songs that keep playing on the radio that you don't normally hear, and sending little signs to them, like one of them the other day said that she heard a song playing and that was a trigger for her to check on someone, and that check on was that she wasn't doing well, she needed help, and he was there just reminding, you know, that he's been around.
That's brilliant. Yeah. So they're still having conversations with us.
I just love they're totally on the doorbell. That's just like, there's someone there who's like, I can imagine like that spirit or that person past used to be like a teacher or a principal or something, and it'd be like, rightio people, get ready, we've got people coming in.
Yeah.
Old mate's going to turn the lights on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have door cam?
It's a good indicator.
Yeah.
So.
Do you have door cam where you can actually see if you can see the orbs? So you can actually see.
Do.
So you've got things like that?
Yeah, often the boss will check. If it's the middle of the night, he'll do a little check and he'll see the shadows moving up and down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. So
Cool.
do you cremate people there as well, or are you just a funeral home?
No, we're just a funeral home.
Have you ever been part of a cremation or witnessed a cremation?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And has anything happened there as well?
Not really. By the time that we're at the cremator, they've left in a sense that they don't need to see what happens to their body.
Okay.
Like most of the time at the chapel or the church, wherever we might be, I'll see them sitting up in the audience or standing beside their loved one as they're speaking. And then that's kind of it. That's their doorway of they've said their goodbye in terms of that part of the process, and they wait until the next chapter. But they're not particularly with us as the cremation takes place or as they're being buried.
Wow.
Have they ever said, I do not want to wear that outfit?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
We'll
I can't
find,
believe that all the outfits you chose that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've had people, like, they bring me an outfit and then they go, oh, they would have hated that. And I said, that's good because they can't wear shoes, or that's good because it doesn't fit them anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Things like that. There's always a way of making themselves present.
That's interesting that you said they can't wear shoes. Is that through a cremation? You can't put shoes on them, or that you just don't put shoes on them?
They don't fit.
Oh.
So depending on your shoe size, having shoes on, it doesn't fit in the coffin. So we
Right.
take them off and put them beside your feet.
Oh,
Okay,
my
so
Lord.
this is something I'm very interested in. So my aunt passed away a couple of years ago, who was basically like my mother, and we were organising her funeral. We were sitting in the funeral home in Beenleigh, and we were sitting there. We had the outfit all sorted, and then we realised that we didn't have and she was very much an accessory kind of a lady, which is where I get my love of accessories. And I looked down and I was wearing a necklace that was actually the same colour as what the outfit was.
Yes.
And my first indication was to take, and this necklace was quite important, like it was given to me by a dear friend, but I said, I've got to take it off and put it on her.
Yeah.
So she was buried with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that was her
Saying, I
really
necklace.
like your necklace.
Yeah, give it to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That wasn't the one I gave you, was it?
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Oh, it happens all the time. And like I had a family come through that had the deceased person had a collection of pins. And they passed around the pins. Each grandchild came forward, everyone came forward, put a pin on, and they said, that's it, no more pins, pop them in the coffin. So put them in the coffin. Then the family comes up and goes, oh, we forgot one person. It comes out again, hand them out again. It keeps going. It went on for about 3 times, and by the end of it, we were trying to lift the coffin, and I just went, no, I think you've got enough pins.
I think you pinned, mate. Yep.
I think you pinned, and that you could feel the deceased being like, oh, thank goodness the good one didn't go. And the family said to me afterwards, oh, we forgot to grab that pin, and I said, I think Dad was supposed to keep that one. So
Oh, interesting.
people do find a way of getting the things that they need
Yeah.
to wherever they're going, and they want to look their best too.
Yeah, well, my mum, when she passed, she was a shoe fetish. She had loads and loads and loads and loads of shoes, and I did the same thing. I tossed up whether to give her highest beautiful shoes or her most comfiest slippers.
Oh, there you go.
I know. So that makes me feel a lot better that you probably would have thrown both out anyway.
Yeah, well, she wasn't wearing the shoes.
No, they don't get thrown out. She can just have multiple pairs. Yeah, change into pairs.
Oh, okay.
What's the weirdest thing you've seen someone dressed in for their funeral, or requested to be dressed in?
Oh, I mean, the probably weirdest one is people bring us lingerie to go under the clothing.
Ooh, that's nice.
So I mean,
they feel sexy on the other side.
Correct, yeah. So they can feel that way. But in terms of clothing, nothing really all that strange. Just maybe that one.
Not like a cow suit or something like that.
No, the people want their people to look nice.
If you wanted to be a cow, I guess, in the past life.
Yeah, I suppose, unless it's a running joke or something like that.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, nothing too weird.
Wow. This has been amazing, Courtney. Anything else that you want to share with us? Any other stories that you think will blow people away from? It's just such an amazing crossover of your jobs.
Yeah, there's nothing that really comes to mind except for the fact that they are always with us. They will make their presence known. And if you don't do what they wanted to do, they will find a way of making sure that you understand that's what they really wanted.
Wow. Okay, so listen to the signs.
Yeah.
And listen to those things like take your necklace off and give it to me in the coffin.
Oh, talking about crazy things. I wore
there's
those
so many
heels.
things that happen. Yeah, like people have things like butterflies or bugs or things like that will sit on the coffin for the entire service.
That's crazy.
And then once the coffin leaves, so do the butterflies.
Those are the butterflies. Yeah, they release them.
Yeah, very much so.
We had that doves for my grandmother, same sort of thing, but my mother told me not to wear my high heels because I was a pallbearer. And I was like, oh, you know, there's a
Fashion
saying,
is
fashion is fashion, and shoes
Fashion
were a
is
big
pain.
thing. And I was 21 and knew everything back then. So I wore my highest of high heels. I was in New Zealand, and you had to go on top of the grave.
Oh, dear.
Right,
Yes.
Oh my God. Well, I slipped and fell on the coffin and did the biggest F-U-C-K.
Oh,
The
great.
priest went like that. Everyone went, they all started laughing. And I just said, oh, shut up. Nana would have thought that was funny.
Oh,
My God. But I was so embarrassed.
Yeah.
And then when my mum passed, I went, no, I'm not carrying the coffin.
No.
I won't be doing that again. Learned my
Or we do it
lesson.
in high heels.
Yeah,
No.
there you go.
It can be done.
Well, they all love shoes, so I thought that was something. I actually thought my grandmother pushed me.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that.
Oh, well,
I'm going to say she did it deliberately.
chance.
Yeah, she would have been up there laughing her head off.
Every chance.
Yeah, see, the biggest one that's kind of always fun is music.
Yeah.
The music is, we've been at gravesides and I'll just start playing a song and the family will go, how did you know?
Yeah, that's
and
gorgeous.
It's just a feeling. It's just, they know, they make it known, and even if you think that you've controlled everything to the way they would have liked, they still have the final word.
Yeah.
I love that. So, Courtney, you mentioned as well that you worked in aged care. Michelle, did you work in aged care as well?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
gosh, you guys are like twins. This is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, which
And-
is really funny.
Well, we tend to flock together.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So what were some of the things that you saw in aged care? Michelle, we'll start with you.
Okay, so the craziest thing that happened to me is I had this beautiful client. She was actually German and she'd been living in Australia for 30 years, was fluent in English, but then had reverted back to her native language. And so the only thing she remembered was fuck off and piss off and get the fuck out of here. That was all she remembered. And she used to do that on a regular basis. She used to say it to everyone except for me. And of course she had Alzheimer's, so she didn't really know what she was doing. And I used to be a prime carer. And she used to have a stack hat on, so she'd have a stack hat on. She would actually have pads on her knees and everything.
Protect herself.
Protection, like she was actually about to go skating or something. And it was really funny because when she did pass, I was just like, you know, she came down and I felt like she was sort of thanking me. But then I just thought, because I was only 18 at the time, I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to get under the bed so that when the nurses and the matron came in, I actually put my hand up under her arm, and as they were all looking around, I got my finger and I made her do and I said, fuck off, and everybody fled. And she actually, but the silly thing is she actually moved her hand and clenched my hand and scared the shit out of me that I hit my head on the top of the bunk, so karma on me. And they went fleeing and I was behind them laughing my head off, and I could see Lou laughing at me. That was her last revenge, honestly. I got in a lot of trouble after
You
that.
can only imagine.
Imagine you did, yeah.
I was lucky I didn't lose my job.
What about you,
That's
Courtney?
borderline on that one.
What about
You would have done
Courtney?
something naughty. I know you did.
Oh, listen. In terms of, I've got like three that are massive standout. I used to do a lot of the overnight care in a nursing home, and it was quite a big facility and had different care needs. And in one section, I was doing a night shift, and this lady was talking about the little girl. She says, this little girl keeps coming in and knocking on the door and annoying me. And I said, okay, well, we'll have a look, see if we can find her. And going through, and I didn't think much of it. Obviously, a lot of people kind of get to a point of decline where you've got to take everything with a bit of a grain of salt. But anyway, she was very insistent on this little girl, and I'd gone into her room, and as I turned to tuck her in, her wardrobe started to open.
Oh.
And she proceeded to tell me about the little girl standing there, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
no, I
that's
can
cool.
see that. We're just going to pretend that's not happening and move on with our night shift. And then you spend the rest of the night trying to shoot her out.
Wow.
I've had other cases where one of my favourite residents was passing away, and he'd kept his wife's ashes beside his door. And she'd been gone for a little bit of time, and as he was passing away, he was obviously remembering memories of her, and he slowly lost his vision in the process of passing away. And I sat with him throughout the night, and he thought that I was her and I was past as sort of going in between. And as he's holding my hand and singing country songs, he passed away. But you could see him and his wife come together, which was quite nice as they walked on. And, you know, his daughter came in the next morning and she said, "When did he pass away?" And I said, 6 o'clock. And she said, "That's funny. I'd woken up at 6 o'clock from a dream."
Wow.
So I understand out. But one of the creepiest ones was I was working it was working in dementia unit, and this lady passed away very, very suddenly, and I'd gone in with my partner at the time of night shift, and we had turned her, and we thought she was going to wake up just from the feeling of the room. You know, normally when someone passes away, you can feel that they've gone, they've walked away. But this lady was very much in her room and hiding around and rolling her to dress her for her family. Any moment we thought she was going to give us like a boo, which was terrifying to us at the time, being 18-year-olds. Yeah.
And did you find they often reach a few days before, like they start reaching for things that aren't there? That's what I used to see, and I always used to say, "Oh, they're going to go soon." And the night nurse, because I was morning shift, I was always 6 a.m. The night nurse would always leave if someone had passed. She'd just leave her there for me, and she'd say, "Oh, she'll probably go today." She'd already gone.
She'd already gone.
What
a lovely person.
She'd always leave it for me. Yeah, paperwork. See.
Often, you know, like one of my favourite ladies, just before she passed away, I saw the angel kind of walk into the room as I was looking after her.
Wow.
And it's a very strange feeling when something so powerful and light walks in, that they make themselves known. And this lady just kind of smiled, and she was peaceful, and the feeling in her room was very peaceful, you know. So everyone has these different experiences, but this lady had worked for the church for most of her life, so it was quite nice to know.
She knew where she was going.
I was going to ask, why would the angel go for her and not for the anyone else?
Because I guess some people are fearful of death too, you know, if they don't know what to believe. If they don't know what to believe, they're fearful, and so that way sometimes their passing can be quite difficult.
That's right, yes.
That's why it's important to have loved ones around you, so that you know, I really feel dying alone would be hard if you're very scared and you're not aware of what, you know, if you had no self-belief or anything. And I feel like even though I'm not a believer in the church, this lady obviously had a lot of faith that actually she was fine to go in the end. So she didn't have fear.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, Courtney, thank you so much for joining us. It's been absolutely fascinating.
Yeah. Thank
Not
you.
a worry. That's okay. Have a beautiful day.
Same to you.
Okay, let's check the stars. Aries, this week will all be about networking, so new connections will lead to exciting opportunities, so keep your calendar open and your mind receptive. Taurus, focus on your finances this week. It's a great time to review your budget and make plans for future investments. Stability is within your reach. Gemini, communication is your strength this week, so use it to mend misunderstandings and strengthening bonds with those dear to you. Speak your truth with confidence. Cancer, prioritise your self-care and listen to your body's needs and carve out some time for some rest and relaxation. It's a week to recharge and rejuvenate. Leo, your creativity will shine through this week, whether you're at work or at home, so allow some innovative ideas to take centre stage. Others will also be drawn to your vibrant energy. Virgo, organisation is key this week, so declutter your space and streamline your schedule. This will create the mental clarity needed for planning for future endeavours. Libra, relationships will take spotlight this week, so all the connections that you have, please listen carefully to what your loved ones are wanting to say to you. Balance and harmony will follow. Scorpio, dive into your self-reflection this week. It's a good time to access your goals and make necessary adjustments. Trust your instincts, they're leading you in the right direction. Sagittarius, adventures calls, whether it's exploring new places or ideas, embark on wanderlust within. This week can spark inspiration and joy. Capricorn, focus on career as it pays off this week. Recognition and achievement are within your grasp. Aquarius, immerse yourself in learning and pause or take up a new skill. This intellectual curiosity will lead to exciting personal growth. Pisces, Your intuition is heightened this week, so let it guide you both in personal and professional decisions. Trust your inner wisdom to lead you towards a positive outcome.
Well done for getting through that. That was amazing.
I'm getting better, aren't I?
You are. It's best if I leave the room, we've decided. Thank you for joining us. Make sure as well you share the podcast with your friends. Don't forget, if you want to win a full reading with Michelle, go to our Instagram or TikTok pages, comment on and share the pinned post. Very easy. Good luck. Have a wonderful week. We'll speak to you next podcast.
Bye, Dom.
Woodwork Podcasts.